alive.
The impact that this institution had on the region and beyond. And the very, very first thing that I mentioned was the Performing Arts Center when it opened in 1976. And what that did for the cultural aspirations of the individuals who lived within this region, I cannot overstate the impact that it had. It was the first time in this region. And we're talking about, this is pre-casino Atlantic City. So we're talking about, you know, building a facility, and one this uniquely designed. I mean, it was extraordinarily unique, and every entertainer would comment about, you know, looking up into the audience and the extraordinary acoustics that are here. We were able to provide not only the students, the faculty and staff of Stockton, when you're talking about then maybe 1,500 folks, but all of Galloway Township and the surrounding region with dance, music, theater, arts, political speakers, all were here. It was an eclectic group of artists along with politicos that provided an entire new way for the people in this region to express themselves.
As we sit here this morning on the stage of the Performing Arts Center, I remember the first time I came in as a new faculty member, as a prospective faculty member. And the PAC director at that time, I think it was Mike Coyle, he was the assistant, or showed me the place and said, "This is the Performing Arts Center." And I was fresh out of Ohio State University, and I came in here, I thought, this is where I hope I can be. And sure enough, within a few months, I had the opportunity to be invited to join the music faculty. I was so thrilled. Little did I know the wonderful times that being on this stage would happen in my life, the wonderful moments that I would have, not only as a human being, but as a teacher. It makes me cry when I think about it. When I think about the students, Suzette, that came to choir, many of them who had never sung before. And I told them, son, listen, don't worry, in about 2 or 3 months, you're going to be on the stage of the Performing Arts Center. You're going to look out. All your parents and all your friends are going to be there. They looked at me like, I don't think we can do it, Beverly. But then we would come to the concert. Sometimes it was Disney songs, sometimes it was songs of the 60s, sometimes songs of the 70s, whatever that particular choir could do that semester. Suzette, at the end of the concert, to see the thrill in those students' eyes, to have their parents come, their friends, and everybody in the PAC yelling and cheering their name and their performance, because they conquered a mountain. They came from themselves. They had a performance possibility. They grew, no matter what their major was. They grew as men and women, and it was because we had the opportunity to use a facility like the Performing Arts Center.
It was very remarkable for me to sit there and to look at those concerts and to think about all the students that have gone through this program and what it's meant to them in different ways to be a part of that performance experience, and what that teaches them about, you know, you can't fake it. The audience knows. I mean, we always say as a dancer, you either stand on one leg or you don't. And the audience knows, even if they have no experience in dance, they know who the best dancers are. They know what a good dance should look like, even if they've never seen one before. They know, they watch, they know, because they feel it in their own bodies. So that's a very valuable experience for students to have when they go out into the world, to know that they can't fake it. When they go out, they have to stand on their own 2 legs, and maybe just one. To me personally, well, it's a big part of my life. I'm getting all weepy. Here in my, I didn't think I was going to do this. Here in my last year, I've spent a lot of time in this room. In this house, I should say. It's not a room. It's a big room in this house. Lived a lot of my life here. Grew up here. So that's what it means to me.
It really is a sort of cultural blossom in this part of South Jersey. I can't imagine where our students and their families and the faculty could get that kind of breadth of artistic exposure if the PAC wasn't here. It's quite a gem, it really is, it really is. And I particularly have enjoyed the various venues that you've produced here, you know, the music, the dance, the theater. It really has enriched the whole community.
This theater in particular is one of the better theaters in this whole area. You have wonderful fly space, you know, the stage is perfect for dance. You know, a lot of times you don't get that anywhere in this area where you actually have wing space, fly space, things that you can do here that you can't do in other theaters. We are here every year, we're doing the Nutcracker every year. We have a really tight relationship with this theater because we've been here every year, and it does feel like home to us. And I wanted to tell you that many years ago, the first year of the college, 40 years ago, I was dancing in New York City with Stars American Ballet. Now, at that time, Stockton was new, and they hired us to come here to perform. And I remember I danced the lead in Valse Fantasy, and I thought, this is the oddest theater I have ever seen in my life. And we used to joke about it, that it was the balcony in the sky. And I never thought at that time that my company would be here, that I would have my own company, and that we would be here, coming here, you know, as our home.
The PAC here feels like home, and I mean that in all the best senses of the word. We come here and the staff, everyone is so helpful, friendly. Something comes up, you guys are right there for us. And our audiences feel very familiar and very familial. In addition to that, we've had some really amazing performance experiences, but it goes beyond just the performance as well. We have great educational experiences, so that the fact that we're wrapped in with arts and humanities programming, with other programming here, is tremendous, because I think we share this vision that the arts are not something separate from the humanities. And this is great. We have arts and humanities here at Stockton. So, but on the contrary, I think they're kind of the fruit of humanities. They're where you take all these great ideas and you can present something that in 2 hours changes people's lives. And you have that spirit here at the PAC.
We brought in these residence dance companies who've then given a performance themselves, but then choreographed a performance on our students, which they then present at a concert later in the year. So that's been really great experience for our students, because not only do they work with our terrific faculty, but then they have outside artists who come in and they get to experience a different point of view, different style, and so I think it broadens them as performers and artists. So I love that, and the dance program has been really committed to that. Music also is now very committed to bringing, you know, they're recruiting students, but also to performance, and they've been having over spring break, having experience choral music day, experience classical music day, experience jazz, so that students from the area get to come and perform in the PAC. Their high school bands, different performing combos, and do workshops with local artists. So the PAC has become a kind of place where we can bring together really excellent local practitioners with our students and with our prospective students. So I think that has just been wonderful, and that's something that is happening more and more in recent years.
The Stockton Performing Arts Center holds a very near and dear place to my heart. As a student, I was able to learn and reach out to the faculty and the professors and really hone my craft. I came from an area where the arts wasn't as prominent, and honestly I didn't know that you could become a theater technician as a profession. And through my time spent here, I was able to not only learn that it was an occupation that was out there and people could actually do this for a living, but also I grew to love it. And because of the people that I met here, the professors and the touring artists that I've had a chance to sit down and talk to, it really grabbed a hold of something in me that made me not want to leave. Stockton has always kind of become my home away from home since the day I came here. And now, being the technical director of the Performing Arts Center, I'm able to take and give back the same things that were given to me, take the students in under my wing and have them work with me as employees, but also being a mentor to them and give them the knowledge that I have, that was bestowed upon me by so many wonderful people.
Unless you were here, you really do not know how much this impacted the region, far more in many respects than the academic programs. The academic programs caught up. But I'm talking about people who had no idea. Remember, there was resistance initially to having a college or university, you know, smack in the middle of a town that we had to provide the police department. We had to, for the whole township, because, you know, we were invading an area that was pretty well untouched. This is farmland here, and I think cabins were across and were on, you know, surrounding Lake Fred. So I cannot overstate how this really was the middle of the Pinelands, and the fact that when we opened up and how important this particular facility was to bringing the community here, and many of the people who became some of our greatest donors, friends, and ultimately family members who had children here and the like. It was the PAC that brought them here, because we didn't have a large athletic program at the time. Remember, we emphasized heavily the intramural program, so everyone was engaged, but it wasn't a robust Division III academic program. It was the PAC. If you knew Stockton, you knew the PAC.